Hello everyone. Today we will talk about technology selection for digital transformation or Industry 4.0. We will use NGT, DELPHI, and MCDM methods. Digital transformation can be defined as the process of utilizing modern technology to create new or modify existing business processes, culture, and customer experiences. The main goal of digital transformation is to carry out paperless digital business model. Companies have to create business models that elevate them for decades. Even if the company doesn't want to go for change, they will go for change. If in that regard, it is frustrating. On the other hand, there may be money-making sources that are no longer on the agenda. Money from data. Digital capabilities. In the second machine age, Brian Johnston and McAfee described the talent opportunities created by the digital age as follows. There could not be a better time to be an employee with special skills or the right training because these people can use technology to create and capture value. However, there has never been a worse time to be someone who only works with ordinary skills and abilities because computers, robots, and other digital technologies meet these skills and abilities. Robots and other technologies components. Digital transformation is the digitization of work approaches. The first stage goal of the application is the automation of jobs. Digitization means encoding data in digital format. Data that was not previously available for digital data processing becomes available. Today, data on physical processes are collected by sensors and the amount of data collected is increasing rapidly. Digital transformation is a journey. Three key topics appear on this journey. 1. Digitization. Transferring jobs from paper heads to a software system, digital media. 2. Digitalization. We now use and process our data in digital environment effectively. IoT, business analytics, machine learning, data-driven operations, decisions are at the forefront. 3. Digital transformation. This is business model development, new products, discovering business areas, and moving forward from there. We already have digital in this part. With problem solving, new idea development singles, we come across a race to get a level in the business and customer section. Corporate software and ERP. ERP refers to a type of software that organizations use to machine day-to-day business activities such as accounting, procurement, project management, risk management, and compliance and supply chain operations. ERP systems tie together a multitude of business processes and enable the flow of data between them. Today, ERP systems are critical for managing thousands of businesses of all sizes and in all industries. Indirect effects and consequences. The system exposes errors in process to data consistency. With standard business process and access to the same screen throughout the public database, jobs are free from being connected to the person. Initiates change in business. With the records and reports generated, business activities can be monitored. With high-level reports and mechanisms to be created, decision-making is made easier. Controlled growth is possible.
Technology selection. In the technology selection process, preliminary work should be carried out with the support of a business consultant. Technology and its supplier selection criteria should be determined. Then the scales to measure them, the methods of calculation should be determined. A serious reporting and documentation study is required. Next page. Business case for a technology selection methodology. Selecting technology for a capital project can put substantial value at risk. The influence curve shows how management's ability to influence to the outcome of the project diminishes with time as one moves through the project stages. Technology selection factors to consider. The evaluation criteria are usually listed in three main categories: economics, technology, and commercial, with a corresponding weight for each category. Next page. System supply options. Different options may appear to meet the system needs of the enterprise. These options are described below in this section. Let's continue with the enterprise software exam framework. First, there is an exciting software. Developing your own software, making software for a company, buying ready-made packages, rental software, use of multiply good package mixes. Platform options. The software can be installed and used within the company or installed and using cloud system. These are selection criteria. These are preparation of the standard response formats. Who should create the factors and weight? Business consultant and project team. A consultant should take part in the project. Technology solution independent, business-based, contributes to the process. It balances the business pressure of senior management in the discussion-making phase within the company and fights to regulatory real need. As an eye that can look from outside the enterprise, it allows unseen angels to be seen. Preparing demo data and scenarios. If you want to see how the system works with your own data structure, you should prepare data for companies in the appropriate formats. Conclusion report and decision. Advantages and disadvantages of the highest rated system. A comparative graph of an alternative system, an estimate of the costs and benefits of the system, implementation project plan, which includes important project stages, for approval by administration, a proposal. As a result of this evolution and the latest tight price negotiation afterwards, the relevant technology solution is selected and purchased. You can pass. Contracts. Contracts are created based on RFP or similar appropriate template. It is worth reading the remarks carefully in case questioning non-RFP statements and seeking support from a legal advisor.
Study questions. From which process should the current station analysis be started? What are the three stages of business process management lifecycle? What are the two options to consider in target status identification? How is the BPR approach different from the technology-based approach? Is there a difference in approach between large and small companies when designing target status? If so, why? To the basic business main process in ERP, give 3 examples. Explain the USA principle. What are the system supply options? What is the difference between RFI and RFP? Next page. The DELPHI method. The DELPHI method is developed for structured communication and is generally used for forecasting the future. It can be viewed as a game where a gazing group of experts guesses over 2 or more rounds. The DELPHI method is an anticipating interaction structure dependent on the after effects of various rounds of pulse shift of a board of specialists. After each round of polls, the specialists are given an amassed outline of the last round, permitting every master to change their replies as indicated by the gathering reaction. This cycle joins the advance of master investigation with components of the inside of graphs. In general, the DELPHI method shows greater success in structured groups than in non-structured groups. The DELPHI method is also easily adaptable to different environments. For example, it can be used as a conciliatory method in case the committee representing the customer disagrees on an issue during customer negotiations. Identify the issue and objective. It is important to define the issue you are trying to solve and what you want to achieve by using the DELPHI method. Choose a group of experts and facilitator. The experts can be individuals who are internal or external to the organization. Round 1 questionnaire. The FACES provides the first questionnaire for the experts. The type of question in the round 1 are usually open-ended as it allows the experts to brainstorm their ideas. Round 2 questionnaire, the subsequent survey out to be made by investigators to appropriate response that you see from the first round. Next page, please. The second use of the DELPHI method is of an undertaking chief who wants to accomplish material sentiments and arrive at the agreement of how their items can be effective in the commercial center. The supervisor sets a policy and requires that the members rate the accompanying choice for them to achieve their objectives, switching the programs to emerge in Industry 4.0, renewal of old model machines and tools in production, developing ERP system to facilitate and accelerate, offering remarkable advertisement. Since there are 5 questions, the participations give from 1.5, 5 being the highest and 1 the lowest. Next page. From the table, only 2 participations, Mersin and Betül, gave 5 points. The comment was for the company to using CRM to contact with people which come to get information. The facilitators collect all the questionnaire, analyze the answers, come up with a summary report answers, and gave it to the experts. The expert answer to the second questionnaire was as follows. The organization proceeded with a survey until the accomplishments what they need or get a low standard deviation. The regular standard deviation shows that there is a low change for the thing in the rundown. For the situation, there is low change for utilizing CRM to contact with individuals which come to get data. That implies that the vast majority concerned with utilizing CRM to contact with clients. The thing with the most elevated mean word will affect is more significant, and that the association needs to zero in on it to accomplish higher use. From the model, the organization made do with utilizing CRM to contact since it had more voice. That implies it is the best objective for the organization.
I will continue by what is nominal group technique. The nominal group technique is a group discussion to decide on a topic. NGT gathers information by asking individuals to answer questions posed by a leader and then ask participants to prioritize the ideas or suggestions of all group members. This method ensures that whole community has a say, not just one person, on the issue that is being discussed and for which a solution is sought. When to use nominal group technique, some group members are much more vocal than others, and some group members think better in silence, and there is concern about some members not participating. The group does not easily generate quantities of ideas. Some or all groups members are new to the team. The issue is controversial or there is heated conflict. Step 1, introduction and explanation. The leader explains to the participants the purpose of the meeting and how the process will work. Second step, silent generation of ideas. The leader gives each participant the documents on which the question is written and asks them to write down the solution that comes to mind while thinking about the questions. In this process, the options of the participants should be individual. This process takes about 10 minutes. Step 3, sharing ideas. In this step, the group leader turns around the table and an idea from each participant is recorded on the flip chart by the leader. Ideas should be recorded word for without explanation by leader. The process continues until all ideas have been recorded. When the participants' ideas are exhausted, they should be passed on the other participants. Step 4, group discussions. Contributing participants being to seek verbal explanation or additional information about ideas produced by their colleagues. that are not clear to them. It is important to make sure the process is as impartial as possible, avoiding judgments and criticism. The organization can also make new suggestions for dialogue and combining gadgets in classrooms, but no thought should be thrown away. This takes late 30 or 45 minutes. A last step, voting and ranking. This includes processing recorded thoughts when it comes to the unique question. After the voting and ranking method, immediate result in response to the questions are recorded to end meeting with a certain outcome. This is our application of NGT. As you can see, researching and applying the last technological models in the market instead of old model machines and tools, and updating the data and data infrastructure have more points than other options. Therefore, our company will use these options because it is the brightest option in brainstorming. MCDM, multiple criteria decision making or multiple criteria decision analysis, is a subdiscipline of operation research that evaluates multiple conflicting criteria in decision making. Conflicting criteria are typical in evaluation options. Cost or price is usually one of the main criteria, and some measure of quality is typical. Another criterion easily in conflict with the cost. The fundamental course of independent direction can be broken into a few phases as a discipline displayed in underneath. Next page, please. These steps can be briefly described as follows. First one, identifying the objective goal of the decision-making process. This step is straightforward and includes the right idea of the objective or the last result of the dynamic interaction. Second one, selection of criteria. The measures ought to be reliable with the choices and furthermore ought to be autonomous of every basis. Third one, selection of alternative. While choosing choices, traits, for example, accessibility and similarity should be thought about. The options additionally ought to be reasonable and viable. Fourth one, selection of the weighting method. The weighting of model determines the significance of them. This is why it's not really settled utilizing two strategies. Technique examined before in this segment. Last one, aggregation. This projection will isolate the best option from the accessible choices. This could be numerical capacity or a normal. This is our references. Thank you for listening to us.